Welcome back, everyone. Well, you know, in our never-ending quest to find interesting artists in our Tri-North County area, boy, did we find one. Joining me today is Delaney Silvernell. So first, welcome.
Thank
Very
you.
nice to have you here.
Thanks.
Now, Delaney, by the way, is a vocalist. And not just any vocalist, the crew here knows her. And we're talking in the league of Adele, okay? And I know that's a big statement, but really, that's what we're talking about here. And you're living right in our area, and you've just loved music your whole life, right? Mm-hmm. So tell me about it. When did you first know that you loved music?
Oh man, I think I had a defining moment. I was probably in first grade, and I was in a music class in elementary school with a teacher named Mrs. Wood, and she had me sing in front of the whole class, and I was like, sure, yeah, I'll do that. And then she was like, that's how you're supposed to sing. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm probably pretty good at this. And then I think from then on, it was just, I got a karaoke machine, and I couldn't be pulled away from it. And it was just kind of a natural thing.
Were there any artists way back then that you heard that maybe your parents were playing or something like that that influenced you?
I think mostly Elvis.
Oh my
I
God,
would
that's
say,
great.
which isn't the first one I would think of, because my dad would play Elvis in the car every once in a while, but he would also play like Nirvana and like very like harder stuff. But I think I had an Elvis karaoke CD for my little tiny karaoke machine that I almost wore out just because I sang through it so many times.
Boy, but not only your parents loved that, but I bet your neighbors did too, right?
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
And you told me a lot of comparisons to Adele. That's heavy lifting, by the way, Delaney, as you well know, because you're talking about one of the seminal artists of our time.
Right.
But you became aware of her fairly early on as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
good.
I remember my mom coming home from a trip in Europe, and I remember her saying, there's this artist over in Europe that is really big right now. I don't know if she's going to make it in America, but like she's amazing. And I just remember her talking about her. And then when 21 got really big, I was like, oh, I know who that is. Like I had already listened to her other albums, and I think she influenced me a lot throughout like my middle school times and definitely high school, still now. But.
There are a lot of shows like The Voice and American Idol and all these things. Having a well-trained voice is not a rarity, but when you listen to someone like Adele, it's in the nuance, it's in the pacing, and the delivery, right? It has to come from the heart. If it doesn't come from the heart, it's formula, right?
Right.
Do you feel that?
I think even if you're looking at somebody like Adele, especially live, she sounds incredible, but like her pitches aren't exactly accurate, or she'll mess up a word, but she owns it. And I think that is the biggest thing, is that she owns her mistakes and she knows she's good, and she just kind of rides with that.
I think that's a terrific word you used. I think that's true of artists almost in any discipline. They have to own their work, because if you own it, you believe in it, and if you believe in it, then it's truth for you, and that's what I think people relate to the most, right? Now, you going to Berklee College of Music, the top echelon, right? Especially on the East Coast. West Coast has a few options, but why'd you pick Berklee?
To be honest, I
No, don't
looked,
be honest.
okay. I looked at a few other schools, when I was looking for colleges, and none of the other schools really had the approach to music that I was looking for. A lot of the other schools were very cutthroat, competitive, and I recognize the importance in that, but Berklee emphasizes collaboration a lot more than the other things, and I think that's a lot more important, that if musicians can kind of just come together, their products become, like, they come out so much better.
Well, you know what they say? They say schools attract students and students attract schools. Berklee, less structured in some way, heavy jazz influence, which of course doesn't exist without collaboration.
Right.
So that's a very interesting pick. Now, you're studying songwriting there?
Yeah.
How's that going?
It's great. Honestly, I love it. It wasn't the initial major I thought I was going to pick, so I'm doing a lot of things that I didn't really know I was going to do going there. But I think it's all really good stuff.
Now, you're going to get a chance to hear Delaney because you're from the area, and she decided to give back to the area. So she's performing a solo concert, although you do have bandmates too,
Yes.
right? On August 26th, which is Friday, at the Wood Theater, and it starts at 7:30. And tell us a little bit about what you're going to cover that night. What are you going to do?
Well, the set list itself is basically half original songs of my own and another bandmate whose name is Ben Rowley. He's studying music at NYU. So we're doing a couple of his original songs, some of mine, and then the rest of them are covers. And it's from various types of artists, but mostly the same style covers. So I'm doing, a song I'm doing a lot of Adele type stuff. But then I'm also doing a song that's by Jimmy Eats World, and it's a different kind of take on it, stuff like that. So
the backup singers?
Yep, I have backup singers.
Oh my God!
Yep.
We're going full bore here. Backup singers. I love backup singers. I don't know why, but I always do it.
It looks like fun, right?
Yeah, yes, it does. It absolutely looks like fun. All right, I'm going to cycle back on this. August 26th. Which is a Friday, Glens Falls at the Wood Theater at 7:30. Tickets are like $20, and the proceeds are going back to the Wood Theater. It's very nice that you're giving back to it, and you get to hear Delaney in person. I actually can't wait to hear you. Those are lofty goals when you start bringing in people like Adele and original songwriting and stuff like that. But you're at that wonderful stage in your life where you can do whatever you want. So go for it.
Thanks.
Very nice to meet you, and very nice to have you in.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. To see this interview again, you can head to our website, looktvonline.com.